Welcome to EnfinityCast, the podcast where we explore the boundless landscapes of the human mind. I'm your host, Jun Halden. Today, we're delving into a topic that might seem a bit counterintuitive: why smart kids struggle. We often imagine giftedness as a golden ticket to an easy life, but the reality can be far more complex. And to help me unpack this, I'm so glad to be joined by my co-host, the insightful Niko Ardent. Niko, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, June. This is a subject I'm really passionate about, mostly because it's surrounded by so many persistent and unhelpful myths.
Let's start right there then. In your experience, what's the biggest myth about gifted children?
The biggest one is definitely that gifted means effortlessly successful at everything. People picture a child who aces every test without trying, but the reality is often something educational psychologists call asynchronous development. It means their intellectual development has raced ahead of their emotional or social development.
So their mind might be ready for advanced physics, but they still have the emotional toolkit of, say, a 10-year-old.
Exactly. They can grasp incredibly complex, abstract concepts, but they might have a complete meltdown over a minor disagreement with a friend. This mismatch is confusing for them and for the adults around them who expect their maturity to be on the same level as their intellect.
That pressure to live up to the genius label must be immense. I can see how that would lead to a crippling fear of failure.
It does, and that ties into the second biggest myth, that smart kids don't need help. Because things often come easily to them at first, they don't get a chance to build resilience. They don't learn how to struggle, how to study, or most importantly, how to ask for help.
So when they finally do hit a wall, maybe in a higher level class or in college, they don't have any of the tools that other kids learned through their own earlier struggles.
Yes, and it can feel catastrophic. To them, needing to ask for help feels like proof that they aren't actually smart after all. It can feel like a deep personal failing, which is a breeding ground for perfectionism and anxiety.
Let's talk more about that emotional side. Beyond the academic pressure, what are some of the social challenges they face?
Social isolation is a big one. When your vocabulary, interests, and sense of humor are different from your peers, it's incredibly difficult to connect. They often feel like an outsider, or they try to dumb themselves down to fit in, which feels inauthentic. There's also a trait called overexcitability, common in gifted individuals.
Overexcitability? What does that mean?
It means they feel everything more intensely. Joy is more ecstatic, but sadness and frustration are more profound. A documentary about climate change isn't just sad. It can trigger deep existential anxiety. An unfair ruling in a playground game isn't just annoying. It's an infuriating violation of justice. Their emotional world is just louder.
So we have this perfect storm: a highly capable mind, an intensely sensitive emotional system, and the social pressure of being the smart one. It's no wonder they struggle.
It really is. And I think the most important takeaway is that we need to see the whole child, not just their report card. We need to validate their intense feelings, praise their effort instead of just their intelligence, and give them a safe space to fail and learn that it's okay.
See the whole child. That's a powerful and perfect place to end. Niko Ardent, thank you so much for sharing your gentle wisdom with us today.
It was my pleasure, June.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on EnfinityCast. We'll see you next time.